What's going on, guys? Chris back with you guys. I promised you guys a cool video about something that there was a topic or a video or a picture, I should say, from NASA that went viral. And if any of you guys are familiar with the thigh bone on Mars, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. This thing went absolutely through the roof. Now, that's why sometimes I believe a lot of these people who are doing these videos, not all, because some people are genuine, that are just, it's like a clickbait. And it may be just merely accidental. They just happen to see it, and of course, it does in fact look like a bone. So I'm going to show you guys this right now, and this is from, as you can see, NASA JPL, or Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And here's the picture, and I'm sure you guys are all familiarized with it. So at the end of the video, I want you to give me your take on this. I really do, because I don't believe it's a bone at all. I think it's not only either it's high-tech, it's some kind of stone structure, meaning some kind of stone, something small. It doesn't have to be anything big, and I'm going to show you why I mean small. But I've said a million times, people, look at lines and shapes, not color. Don't let the size of whatever it is you're looking at fool you. Look for shapes. Now, I'm going to show you that. This is what's funny. This is their explanation to it. Bone up on Mars rock shapes. No bones about it. Seen by Mars rover Curiosity using its mass cam. This Mars rock may look like a femur thigh bone. Mission science team members think its shape is likely sculpted by erosion, either wind or water. If life ever existed on Mars, scientists expect that it would be small, simple life forms called microbes. Mars likely never had enough oxygen in its atmosphere and elsewhere to support more complex organisms. Thus, large fossils are not likely. I flag BS on it. Come on. First of all, just by looking at this photo, I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Just by looking at this thing, I'm going, okay. Again, I'm seeing things that are actual lines in here. And you're going to see this thing looks more like a pickaxe than it looks like a bone. And if you think I'm kidding, just keep watching. But what's really funky about this, now let me ask you guys a question. You can see right here, there's actually another part right here. You can't see it, but it's over here. Actually, it's right here. You can just see it come up like this. This is one tread mark of the wheel. Here's another. Okay? What's that telling you? That tells me that this thing, whatever these are, or this is, these pieces or whatever they are, it may just all be one piece, and it's been broken to pieces, like NASA likes to do. It likes to run over things. But what's really crazy, I understand if you ran over something, you know, it would pull itself out of the dirt, so on and so forth. But how do you have a rock that is half dirt? And what I mean by that is, look at the way this thing runs. It's nice, smooth, goes like this. It keeps going through this dirt, guys. Check this out. What rock does that? They made it look like it's half buried and half... No. Look at the shape of this thing, and look at the way it's hiding. Here's a couple other pieces right here. Like square, sitting right here. You can see a nice 90-degree angle over here. Keeps going. Here's another one right next to it. Okay, and stops right there. But what's more important... And I've noticed this, and I'm going, people are just not paying attention. They're just seeing something right off the bat, and they're just jumping to conclusions. Now, again, when I first seen this, I thought, same thing. It's got to be a bone. But I'm going, knowing the way NASA is, they're just not going to let this happen. Because here's the thing. What would you guys, if you were NASA and you were trying to hide something, what would you do? Well, if you had something that was intelligently made, obviously, there's no question about it, man. It's intelligently made, must have been life, intelligent life on Mars. But what if you were to put this up here, like the description I just read from NASA and their explanation for it, what would you say? Well, if they make it look like some kind of bone or eroded, it could be anything. It could be a petrified piece of wood, eroded rock. It could be anything. Now, laying on the ground like that, I guess that's possible to be eroded, of course, just the surface of it. But so what you do is you dress up anything that's intelligently made to look like a stone. Again, like this rock. See the way this has this weird, funky shape to it? And it goes like this and comes back, and then it has what looks like a stone. Like half of this stone is buried and half of it's not. It's just been run over by the rover, but yet half of the thing is just, it's CGI'd, guys. Either they're overlaying this photo with another copy of the same photo and then CGI in certain sections they don't want you to see, or they're doing it directly on the photo. One of the two is happening. Either way, they're messing with this photo. Okay, now what's funny about this thing is that, look at this, the edge of this rock is showing, but yet, nope, not the rest of it, but look at the shape of it. Check this out. Okay, but this is just a tip of the iceberg, guys. You're going to see some cool stuff in here. But again, if you look at these wheel marks, and you can just see it, it's probably right behind my picture here, or my video, if you will. And you can see it right here. Okay, from tread mark or tread to tread on the wheel is about a little longer than your thumb. So if you go, okay, it's a little longer than my thumb, these things are not very big. Now, this reminds me of another video I had done a while back. Well, check this out. Same thing. See the tread? This one, I usually use the term fins of the tread, if you will, and then there's another. It's about the length of your thumb, a little longer than your thumb. If that's true, then these things are very small. But look at this rock. Goes across. It's definitely symmetrical. Look at this. Curves. I'm going to go back. You guys can use your magnifying glasses anytime you want, eyepieces, whatever it is, to take a look at this thing. But check it out. Goes over here, got a corner, comes around nice and radiused, has this piece right in the middle, comes back out radiused, stops, nice 90-degree angle, goes back around, another corner, and then it has this piece sticking out in the back. What the hell kind of natural rock does this? Same thing with this cube or whatever this is. Up here in the upper right corner, it has, I'm going to just zoom in just so you guys can see this, but check this out. It looks like a perfect cube with like a black disc on the side of it. And if you notice, it's real dark there, but you can see like these little tiny details, if you will, because there's no way of knowing what the hell this thing is. It looks like a flat rock with a face on it. You can see an eye, a mouth, like it's facing down this way. Kind of bizarre, but that might be just a pareidolia. But I had done this a while back, this video, but here's a good example. Look at another rock that goes like this. Nice arched rock. It comes down and it's deep. It goes back there, and look at this one here. Almost looks like if you tilt your head to the right, it looks like some kind of weird sculpture or something of an owl with a wing or something like that. And this one here, I showed you guys, it looked like some kind of weird animal, like the head, the ears. And you could check that out. I mean, I've got the videos. These were recent videos I had done. But again, look at the size of it. And again, they run over it because you can see it over here as well. Another tread or a part of the tread, I should say, from the wheel. They're literally running over this stuff to either try to mix it up so they can take a closer look at it, or either way, they're destroying it, at least most of it. So you guys get the gist of what I'm saying, and this one's no different. Again, smaller pieces. Okay, so now let's jump back into this thing because I want to show you. Let's go to here. Okay, so I just started, I actually blew this thing up. This is the original. And then it blew it up and started to actually go into this photo. Now, what's funny about this, it's supposed to be red, but yet the second you start to do any kind of enhancement, look at the colors that come out of this thing. It's just bizarre. But that's not the only thing. Look at the little shapes and these weird things inside here. Look at the way that thing is. That's just cool. Now, again, you've got this rock, and you can see this. I can see it right here. It has this weird shape to it, but yet there's something else sticking out of here. Okay. All right. Now, what I was getting at was when people are looking at this so-called bone type thing, this thigh bone, could be leg bone, whatever the hell it may be to people, that's fine with me. What's funny about it, they totally overlook, and I see like these lines. Again, stop looking at the colors, stop looking at how big they're trying to make you believe that this thing is. Just put it aside, because I see right here, I can see right here, it's going up and around. Looks like it has another little piece like this, which I didn't put in my enhancement, which is fine. But it looks like it keeps going up and goes like this here. Now, what about this half round piece sitting right here? And of course, I botched that up a little bit. Right here. I'm going to see if I can do this because it's barely visible. Okay. You're going to see that in the enhancement. But here's another cool part, guys. Nothing does this in nature, man. This is cool. Check this out. Nice round disc. Of course, that doesn't look too round there, does it? Let's do this again. Okay, so when it comes around, it's got this round disc, but this is what's more bizarre. Check this out, guys. You've got these pieces. One comes out like this, goes to that, but it goes like this at the same time. This goes like this, goes like this. And you go, okay, so what the hell is that? It gets better. The more you look into this photo, the more bizarre it gets. Check this out. And you're going to see this a lot better in a minute. Whatever this is right here laying on this rock, and you can see that they colored it to try to get it out, it looks like a set of what look like wires going down to this thing. Now, I started going into this thing. I'm going to dock it up and get rid of the color that's in here. And I'm going to show you guys this. I'm going to make this a little bit more natural, if you will. Some people, believe it or not, will claim, I've seen people do this, and for the newcomers, I know some of them are going, hey, you know what? it seems like when they see something that looks something that could be an object that we made, they automatically, the assumption is it's Earth, it's not Mars. Use some logic here. If you were NASA and you wanted to hide this, why would you take a picture on the ground with intelligently made things on it only to try to scrub it out and cover it up? It simply wouldn't make any sense, would it? Okay, you got to use a little reasoning on this. These things are actually on Mars, meaning the rovers, so on and so forth. Now, I don't know if I showed you this. I think I showed you this earlier, which I did. I'm almost positive of it now. But right here, this piece here, now I'm almost positive that that's not... There's something else right here. I can see it. There's a line here. And then it's been all scrubbed out. You can see where it's like they go these little tiny lines and stuff. These are... This is not just natural rocks, guys. These things are being formed in a way that just doesn't make any sense. Now, what I also tried to do is not only find the lines, like you can use your burn tool here, and you can see it right here. You can use your burn tool, and what you do is you try to go over the edges lightly to see if anything has an edge, meaning if you can find the end of whatever object you're looking at. Now, check this out. So you can see right here, I started bringing this out a little bit. Okay, and then what I use is my dodge tool to try to... You can see it go here. And what I tried to do is anything that has a light signature, meaning a lighter color to it, you can bring that out pretty easy. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. So let's just jump right into this thing. I'm going to show you this. Every step I take, I'm going to show you how it enhanced each area I've done. But check this out, guys. This is what's cool. Suddenly this thing looks like some kind of weird pickaxe, as opposed to, look at this straight handle. Go like this, has a piece coming down like this. It looks like some kind of weird opening. Now, it might be all one piece, but check this out. You can see the line right here. Goes down and goes back. Whatever the hell this thing is, it's not a bone and it's not a rock. You can see what looks like a bunch of, you're going to see here what looks like, almost like, if you will, like a bunch of electronics. But what I mean by that, it just looks like these little components. What I believe it is just nothing more than CGI, because you can see this way over here. If you go into the photo, you can see these weird squigglies and all kinds of weird things. So I'm not after the smaller things per se. I'm after the bigger shapes and what might be actually intelligently made. So let's jump into the picture even further. Notice this piece has just started jumping out. And although this was actually in the photo. So let's jump back in. I'll do this several times so people can see the difference in the photos. And I'm going to put this up on the Google Plus so you guys can compare the two and then say, oh, okay. And you can see how much is actually popped out from just burning this bullshit, and I forgive my language, this crap that they're overlaying on these photos to try to get rid of what's really in it. I don't believe, again, that this is just simple, just stones that they ran over. Not by a long shot. Here's that piece I was telling you about. Check this out. What the hell does that? Look how perfect this thing is. Goes like this, kind of has this nice round piece to it. Goes like this. And just directly underneath it. Okay, nice round circle. Oh, no, that's not nice and round. All right. And it goes like this here. This thing has an actual design to it. Nothing's going to do this by accident. Nothing's going to do this by like, oh, that was erosion. Okay. But anyway, guys, you know, here's another example. Let me see if I can't bring this back. All right here in this area. See the shapes that are actually coming out of it. You can see something running like this here, and this little piece is running off of it. And when you adjust this, and stop bringing, you can start to see these pieces are actually, look at this, it actually runs all the way underneath this other big piece right here. Okay, how about this one here? Now, this one here could actually be a manipulation. They just pointed it like that, maybe to something like a piece of steel sticking out, and they decided, hey, let's just make it one piece. We don't know. There's no way of knowing this. So, but just... Just have a look at these things. This is what I was talking about earlier, where it looks like these, it almost looks like if you had like a circuit board, you can see like a bunch of shapes, like electronics or something like that. I'm not saying that's what it is, guys, of course. I don't know. But check this out. Whatever it is comes off of this one, goes down to there. This one goes into here, and then down. Is it all one piece? Or is it separate pieces? It looks like it's been broken apart. So they can easily make these things look like stones and you'd be none the wiser. Again, here we go with the actual piece here. Half round piece. Now again, I'm going to show you that one. And how about this one here? And you can see a defined line to it. But there's other pieces laying in this ground. Yeah, these don't look like something you would find in natural erosion. This here. I think I mentioned this earlier. And this actually goes, if you look at it really carefully, it actually looks like it goes like this here. Let me do, it actually has a double piece, if you will. It goes like this. Goes across. Comes down. Looks like it's got a, actually it does this, actually. You can see the piece right here. Goes like this. And then it has a nice round radius again going on this one. Watch this. See how round that is right there? This comes down, but it's a different color. They love to take anything that's been... If you were to take, let's say, a car from the distance and throw it way the hell in the distance of a picture, and it looks really vague, you can barely see it, you put half of it brown or dark and the other one light, so you can't see the whole object. This is the reason why sometimes I like to just try to make everything one color if I can. Black and white is the best way to do it. Desaturate, that's the best way to do it. Okay. And again, you've got these pieces here. Check this little thing out. Again, you guys, if you're using a magnifying glass, have a look at this stuff and just check it out. This looks like almost like electronics and stuff and pieces of something intelligently made. But let's say for argument's sake, I'm totally off the base here. And I'm okay with that. We can only speculate here. There's pieces in here clearly, and this one here is like the biggest thing of all. Right here in the center of the page right now. There's no way that's natural. Sorry, I don't buy that. And then when you zoom into this piece here, which I like to call the pick, check this out. You can see this thing run just like this here. Now, I believe this might just be some kind of weird... It could be a pick. It looks like a little space or two spaces in here. I don't know what that is, but whatever that thing is, and that could be like a handle or something else, or it's disguised as one piece. I don't know. But to me, this thing screams, and you can see multiple things like this. They're just not, they're covering these things up like oh my God. I mean, again, this here, this what looks like a tool more than anything. You've got this piece here. You've got this over here with these little wires or whatever these things are that branch off or go to the other part of whatever this thing is. Now, it looks like stone. So the first thing you would think of is some kind of weird statue. But because it's being disguised as stone, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just some kind of sculpture and it was just broken to pieces. Is it possible it's that? Or is it because I can see a lot of these things are being disguised as rocks? They may actually be intelligently made. And the reason why they run these things over is because they want to break it apart and see what it is by taking the Molly cam and looking directly at this thing up close, microscopically, whatever they want to do, and they can really have a close look at this thing. And that may be, they might have taken 100 pictures of this thing before they run over it. Before they even ran over the thing, they probably had a look at it. Here's something else that's hiding underneath the dirt. And you can do this with your Dodge tool. You can easily find this by just simply going like this, and you can take, you know, like your shadows and like just go over a certain area and you bring out different shapes, things that were supposed to be like a lighter color. Somehow it brings it out. I couldn't tell you exactly how it does it, but it does it. Now, guys, just give me your take on this thing. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. And you can see right here, this is where they ran this thing over, because you can see the line right here. Let me go ahead and, well, I can do it right here. You can see where they ran over this thing. And it's over here, too. It looks like it does this. And you can see the other piece where it actually comes up. That's what the way this thing usually runs. It usually has a pattern like that there. So, knowing that's a little bit longer than your thumb, how big are these objects? So, now here's a little weird question for you guys. If you believe, a lot of people actually believe there's little humans, or humanoids, if you will, on Mars. If you're our size, what would these things be sitting on the ground? Is it part of a statue? Is it part of something else? Here's a hypothetical. If there was smaller people on there, and I'm not saying itty-bitty half-inch people, but what would you say this is now? if there was smaller people on there. It just gives you something to think about. I'm not saying that I believe that, because I've never seen a humanoid or some small little humanoid or whatever it is that they claim to see. I've never seen that, so I can't say that. Here's some other funky looking things sitting right here. What the hell does that? Check this out. And just pay attention to the actual lines in this thing. And it just has some funky looking things here in this photo. So the question is it a bone or is it much more than that? I don't think it's a bone at all. It clearly looks to me, of course it can't be clearly because we can only speculate and, you know, just take a wild guess at this thing, but check it out. Let's see if we can flip this thing around a little bit. Check that out. It almost looks like a weird pickaxe. Now, I'm not saying that that's what it is. I can only guess at it. I don't know. But what has that shape in there? And like I said, you can go like this. Watch this. Let's go into... Let's look at it right here. I can see, and I'm going to let you guys see this as well. Check this out. Of course, it's hard to see this way because you can see it just right there. I didn't go too close to it. I should have done it closer. But you can see this thing come off. And there's another piece. It actually goes out like this. Goes down like this. But there's a hole over here. Once you burn this garbage away, it becomes a lot more noticeable. And then you can actually see this thing. It's just like, what is that? But check this out, guys. Let's go have a look at this. Look at these little pieces now. I'm going from one supposed rock to another. This piece here. Look at it from a totally different view. And the way this thing is shaped. Sorry, don't believe that that's just naturally made. I just don't buy that, you know. But like I said, I would want do you guys believe that this is nothing more than just rocks? Do you think it's something more than that? If it is, tell me what you think. I mean, have a good look at this thing. And again, I'm going to put the side-by-side, if you will, onto my Google Plus. I'm going to have you a side-by-side so you guys can have a really good look at this thing and tell me what you guys think. Because as far as I'm concerned, I look at this thing and I go, oh my God, this is like insane. Here's another thing that's way at the bottom that popped out when I was doing the different stage of burning process and getting into this photo. Look at this. We can just zoom into that. Look at the way this thing has this weird teardrop shape thing to it. Things right here popping right out of there. Now, this, don't get me wrong, guys. A lot of this could be nothing more than actually broken stone. And I'm okay with that, too. But here's another piece right here. It almost looks like they screwed up here. They didn't cover that up. Where was that other one here? Right here. They didn't cover that up. You can see things that are like silver or really bright, like a metal color, if you will, right there. You got one over here I forgot to show you guys. I'm going to show you that right now. Check this thing out. It has what looks like teeth. It goes like this. Of course, it's got this odd shape to it. It goes like this. And then has like 1, 2, 3. Almost looks like a miniature comb, if you will. But it has this steel look to it. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it has that weird steel look to it. Now, what the hell is it? To me, again, in my opinion, this is all intelligently made. I don't care if it's stone. I don't care if it's high technology. I don't care if it's a tool that's sitting over there like a pickaxe instead of a stone. Instead of this weird bone thing, think about this a minute. Again, like I said, if you were to be NASA and you wanted to doctrine this thing up, what would be the best way to do it? Well, make it look like a bone. Because that can be, you can misconstrue this thing as anything. You can say, oh, it's a bone, it's a stone that's been eroded. They can make it sound like anything. But if they were to show you something that was intelligently made, boom, end of discussion. There is no answer. There's no other answer to it other than there's obviously people, or there was people on Mars. This is the best way to fool you by just changing this thing up a little bit. And like I said, you can see that little pick part of it right there. Now, whether this is in fact an actual axe type thing or some kind of pickaxe or tool, I don't know. I really don't. Did it in black and white here so you guys can have a look. Back out of there. Go back to, say, what I do is I burned away more of this. And this, to me, without a doubt, is something more than that. And that's all there is to it. You got, like I said, all of these pieces. So anyway, guys, give me your take on it. What do you think is going on here? Do you think this is nothing? I mean, to me, there's just no doubt about it. This is no bone at all. This is some kind of tool or some kind of part of this statue, or it's, you know, because I don't believe it's stone either, guys. I really don't believe it's stone. It looks like stone when you look at it, but there's some precision going on here when you look at that thing right there in the middle. I mean, just the pieces here, and it goes on and on. It's all like little pieces, bits and pieces of this. Again, why would you have a rock that's half buried, like right here? This thing here, check this out. I mean, here's another good example. And it keeps going. You can see the line of it keeps moving. So that tells me that this is not just a simple, you know, just a part laying, or like a rock laying around. Like I said, this is the same one we talked about earlier. That was this one here. Well, let's get out of the black and white and go to here. This is the one I was talking about that has this rock continues on. But there's something right there. You can see it's whatever it is sticking out of this, and it comes back around. See how like they try to use it? It's what I think they're doing is using a lasso tool, and they're taking parts of the ground, could be anywhere, could be over here, and they're just putting it, they're just making it square, just blotching it, click, 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 and they just blotch it right onto whatever they want, and you're none the wiser. They get it to camouflage, if you will, to the rest of the environment, or the rest surroundings, if you will, and there you go. Easiest way to get rid of anything. That's the way to do it. So, again, this is something right here you can see. And it kind of looks like it's rounded, if you will. Look at this. But what's funny about it is people go, well, you know, some people say, well, you're making this up. Well, all right, but here it is. Here it is, right there. Look at it. I'm gonna zoom in. This is the stock photo. Well, no, it isn't. I'm sorry. But this is the one that's closer in. But I'm going to go ahead and go to the original. And then I want your take. I'm going to jump off this. But these lines are, in fact, there. Here it is. You can see that almost as plain as day. Almost as plain as day. Well, I didn't make that too round, so my apologies, but you get the idea. Again, I can see this thing doing this. And this piece is coming off. And you've got this in the back. I'd be interested if anybody else finds anything. But you can see where, look at, they actually screwed this up. This is funky as hell. I just noticed this piece sticking out. And it's got more going to it than meets the eye. It actually, oh, wow, there's multiple pieces on this thing. This is insane. Again, you've got this half-round piece. I can see it without even doing anything to this photo. This is how I seen these guys. And I said to myself, oh, I got to get into this photo bad. This is insane. And you can see the perfect, look at the way this thing comes down. I don't know if it goes like this, it goes into another part of it, something down here. But check this out. Look how smooth radius that is going, just coming up around there. Check that out. Smooth, man. Check that out. And then you've got another piece going down over here, and then it has a small piece. But what? But like I said, give me your take on this, guys. When something gets run over, half of that rock is not going to remain, you know, full of dirt, and the rest of it's going to be completely undone. It's just not going to work that way. So I think either this thing was one large piece at one time, this whole area was one large piece, or it's many pieces that just been laid on the ground, or left there, if you will, and it's just been run over. So I'm going to let you guys tell me what you think that is. I'm going to just jump back into this like this, back out. And like I said, you guys can stop the video. You know that any way you want and have a look at this thing. I'm doing it right now. I can look at this right now with my little eyepiece, and put it this far, like I said, away from the computer screen. Doesn't have to be very big, maybe an inch. And I can see these things without having to zoom into it. And my God, this shit is everywhere. Now, whatever this is up here in this half-round circle, it almost looks like I said, you'd swear it looked like some kind of weird circuit board or something. But this is the actual, I don't know if it's both, but you can see, like, look at the little patterns and stuff right in this area where you can see even some of that's blurred. But if you were to look anywhere, it's either the texture of the photo itself or it's whatever they're overlaying this picture. Again, I didn't really care about that. I wanted to see the actual larger objects, and this is what, this video is all about. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you guys have a look at it. Again, this just reminds me of this, this is the original, and then this reminds me of these things here, how there's this intelligent-looking stones sitting right in front of the rover, and they're running over them. One, like I said, they've probably taken a bunch of photos before they ran over it. And then two, once they ran over it, they inspected this thing really up close. But give me your take on it. Am I like off base? Is it something more than that? Is it just nothing more than stones to you? I don't believe that it is, and I hope you don't believe it is. I don't think it is. So, but give me your take on it. Let me know. I've got another one too that you're definitely going to need some kind of magnification for this thing, because once you see this next photo, oh my God, there's just going to be no doubt in your mind that there is actually structures on Mars. No doubt whatsoever. And that one's coming up either next or the next one after that, because we've got a bunch of them on deck here. So anyway, guys, stay tuned for that. I'm sorry I took up so much of your time. It's just been good to be back. I've been just, it's been so nice out here. Of course, it's been so darn warm out here. It's insane. Right now, it's well, it gets the warmest around 4 o'clock here, but right now it's 94 degrees and 109 degrees with the heat index. It's about 60% humidity, so it's pretty toasty outside. So doing the video right now is definitely a plus. Anyway, guys, like I said, give me your take on it. Let me know what you think. Leave the comments down below. Share in the video. Share the video. Again, comments. And give me a thumbs up. Always appreciate it. You guys know that. Let me see what else I got coming up here. Okay. Yes, we should have those 2 videos coming up soon for you guys, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Always appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next video.